The Petersen Auto Museum. This is something that's been on my list for a little bit. I've been here before, but not since I was a kid. Really, the one big car I want to go see is a bright, shiny red Roadster that you guys are going to see shortly, and it's one of the coolest cars ever built. We'll get there. This green Porsche is kind of neat. They're doing a little Porsche week. They're showing at the Petersen. My dad drove one similar to this in college. Hardtop, same deal. I believe it was a 52. I'm not sure if his was a 356 or not, but he sold it for like $400. You know, they're worth a little bit more now. You know, even though they're not really my type of car, not the cars that I specialize in or focus on, gotta have a great appreciation for these early Porsches. They're really neat looking cars, great lines. You know, they're just beautiful. They look like they're going a million miles an hour sitting still, and you know they are what they are. Pretty cool racing history. Some really neat one-off bodies, some hand-built bodies, some really cool stuff. I enjoyed getting to meander and read some of these placards and I don't know, just take it in. I mean, peeking in the cockpits of some of these race cars, you know, and just seeing how they're put together. It's pretty neat. It's not the kind of thing that you get to see every day, and at least where I live, we don't have a lot of this kind of stuff. Not a lot of car museums and not a lot of things you can go see. So it was a really enjoyable aspect of the museum, even though, like I said, they're not really the types of cars that you know, if it was a Porsche museum, I wouldn't go to a Porsche museum. I've had a handful of Porsches, and it's just not my focus. I tend to focus on hot rods, but I don't know. I still get a kick out of it. I appreciate cool cars in all forms. I definitely appreciate all car guys, even stuff like this. Here's the Mystery Machine from a live action Scooby-Doo movie. I actually found out after the fact that I missed a handful of pretty neat cars. Here's the DeLorean from Back to the Future, but I missed the 50 Merc from Cobra. And one car in particular I would have really liked to have seen is the 32 Ford that Tony Stark has in Iron Man. Really like that 32 Ford. It's a little over the top in some ways, but it's got some really neat features. And I've always been a big fan of that car. It's I believe the director of the movie, what's his name, Jon Favreau. He plays Tony Stark's butler, but I believe it's his car. He has it on loan. There's the Bat Cycle, a little Batman TV show. Starsky and Hutch car over there. Pretty cool. And, you know, it's generally speaking, and I'll show you some examples later here. Stuff made for movies and TV aren't that great, but it's still neat. You know, these are cars that spark the imaginations and get people into things. Here's the car we're here to see, though, the Mcgee Roadster. If you don't know about it, you should. I've been reading about this car most of my life. It's cool. It's not even like that. Like, you know, like it doesn't have chrome backing plates or chrome drop axle or anything. It's not real gaudy, I guess is what I want to say. But it is so clean, and it was so influential in its time. I mean, you just can't. It's hard to put it into words. It's a special car. It's impacted so many people over so many years, and I'm definitely one of them. I got some shots here of the underside. It's just clean. It was restored. I'd have to double check. I'll throw up the year on the screen here. But it was restored somewhat recently, I believe, in the last 20 years, and it was restored, I believe, to its earliest form, because it did change over the years as it changed hands. Neat car, though. They just did a spread in Hot Rod magazine, I think, on it. Really good content for that mag. There's a lot of really cool customs here at the Petersen also, and it's just wild. It's inspiring. A lot of one-offs, a lot of just really neat stuff. Yeah. I'll shut up. You guys can kind of take it all in. I'll chime in when I have something to say. Now, this car really impressed my wife. She just thought it was gorgeous, but I was joking with her about imagining parking this thing. It is an absolute monster. It is so big. But I mean, amazing lines, amazing details. The way the windows work on it, it's a cool car. Here's another one that's really impressive. Really enjoyed this car. It just makes you feel something when you look at it. Really, really great eyes that some of these early designers had. This is another Porsche that I had to go back and look at. It's last car Steve McQueen bought. If I fanboy on anybody, it's Paul, Hollywood, Paul Newman's and the Steve McQueen's, the guys that actually race cars and live the lifestyle. I appreciate those guys a lot. I'm not big on actors too much any more than anybody else, but Steve McQueen is the man. Okay. This took me back to my childhood a little bit. I can remember Michael Keaton driving this thing, and man, the Batmobile, when I was 5, it was cool. Here's Christine, another great movie car. Again, it's all about what it inspires and what it makes you think of, and I love movies with cars in them, especially cars being the central characters, even if they're trying to kill everybody. But, yeah, pretty car. Here's a really neat one. It's a Terraplane pickup. Don't see too many of these. Really great lines. Really slick looking truck. I appreciate it. It's gorgeous. Very different also in a lot of ways than other cars, other trucks that you'd see from the era. One thing I found really interesting about this car is if you get down and look underneath, it has no exposed undercarriage. It's completely encapsulated in the body. So, pretty aerodynamic car. Must have next to no wind resistance. And the styling's just out of this world. Straight out of the Jetsons. Look at those fins. Well, we made it home. It was a long trip. Here's some of my scores from the Roadster show. And while I was just in California, I bought a handful of things. I got a spreader bar from the early Ford store. I grabbed these neat finned headlight stands, which they repop. I got a pair of frog mouths and a finned coil cover from Mike at H&H Flatheads. I got a Moon 2-pot fuel log there. I picked up some juice spindles. I got neat chrome spring mount. I grabbed these two guide 682s for $5 a piece out of somebody's scrap bin. I grabbed 539 through 42, 41 backing plates, juice backing plates, and a couple drums too. But it was a good trip. I'm going to run you guys through some of my pictures real quick. Here is what I was talking about with the whole movie car thing. Now, if you look real close here and you look at the rust on this car, it's just a little brown paint they smeared on there and didn't even do a very good job of it. It's kind of what I was talking about. You know, movie cars are generally not done real well. They're not built real well. They're kind of sloppy. They're just made to look good from a distance in a scene just once, you know. That's one of the impressive things about like the Batmobile. I mean, a lot of work went into the Batmobile. You know, some of these movie cars are pretty incredible and some are just really not. But I don't know. To each his own. Here's some stills of the Mcgee Roadster. But pretty neat stuff. The Petersen's pretty cool. There's a really neat little spaceship that I think was it Porsche made by Porsche. Yeah, made by Porsche for Lucasfilm. It was used in Obi-Wan. You guys will see that in a second here. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe. Feel free to drop some comments. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Got a couple cool videos coming up doing some restoration on some heads, and yeah, we scored some heads. So pretty cool stuff. But appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Later.